cleats can be overlooked. Sure, those specialized shoes are very important for the athletes on the field, but for fans, they're largely forgotten. But for one Denison family, a cleat can mean much more. Adam Burns was a teacher and coach at Denison Schleswig High School. It's there he would meet his wife Katie, and they would start a family. But in April of 2021, Adam would be diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer.
We were sitting on the couch, I can remember, and he looked at me and literally said, "What next?" And it was based around how could we help other people.
So the Burns began the nonprofit Compete for a Cure.
So we moved forward with wanting to be able to support families going through a diagnosis, and then also research. We know that there's not near enough research for brain cancer, so we wanted to be able to fund research locally.
Adam passed away on December 2nd, 2022, but his legacy lives on through the nonprofit. Not long after, Adam and Katie's daughter, Denison, was given an assignment at school.
Well, I always wanted to write something for my dad, so when my teacher, Mrs. Pick, told us that we could write a persuasive essay, I knew exactly what I want to write about.
Denison came home one day, and she said she was writing, they were doing a writing in class, and that she wanted to write about her dad.
So I went up to her and asked her what would be a good thing to write about my dad, and she immediately said that Burn Sheriff used to live in Denison, so I decided to write to him.
Next came a leap of faith and a stamp.
She's like, "We're mailing it off," and I didn't think anything of it.
I was a little nervous because he's an NFL player, so I didn't know if he would get it.
Not only would the Jaguars offensive lineman receive the letter, he would respond.
Another friend had texted me, "They're trying to get a hold of you," and I thought it was really weird that all these people were trying to get a hold of me, and I'm in Washington. And so I had called the principal, Mr. Webers, back, and he's like, "Hey, we got to get your information. Brandon's trying to get a hold of you." And before I know it, here's Brandon just texting me like, "No big deal."
Well, he texted my mom and said that he's going to do it to us, and she told us a couple days later and told us that we were going to Florida.
So the family packed up for Jacksonville and with the help of some relatives, prepared for the game.
The support, my sister was like, "If you want to do this, let's go." And so I had, I was a little nervous to do it by myself, and so that was a piece that also fell into place. And we took off. The flight was on Adam's 1-year passing, so that was just, again, everything had just kind of aligned.
Once at the game, nothing could have prepared them for what came next.
When we were at the game, he gave us a wave and then came over to us and gave us the cleats. And I was just speechless, and I did not know what to say when he asked us if we wanted them.
And so the cleats for Compete for a Cure would be back with the family that inspired the very shoes, with a letter and a lot of hope.
Just really grateful for the experience for Burn Sheriff.
In Denison, Iowa, Jason Moeller, KTIV Sports Force.